Hey everybody, Movie Reviewer Next Door here and I'm back with another review. This time I saw Bullet Train. This is an action comedy film from 2022, directed by David Leitch, and it stars Brad Pitt, Joey King, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Brian Tyree Henry, Andrew Koji, Hiroyuki Sanada, Michael Shannon, Bad Bunny, Sandra Bullock, Zazie Beetz, and Logan Lerman. In this film, unlucky assassin Ladybug is determined to do his job peacefully after one too many gigs gone off the rails. Fate, however, may have other plans, as Ladybug's latest mission puts him on a collision course with lethal adversaries from around the globe, all with connected, yet conflicting objectives on the world's fastest train. So, what did I think of Bullet Train? Well, I thought it was fine, but I definitely have quite a few issues with it. It didn't really connect with me like I was hoping it would, like connect as in like work fully like as an action movie. It didn't meet all of my expectations. And I didn't even have like I heard that it was good from some. I heard that some thought it was style over substance. I just think it's kind of unspecial, and the IMDb rating I think is a bit high. It has like a 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb, which is insane. But yeah, let me get to the cast. Brad Pitt plays Ladybug. He's this unlucky assassin. I think he is one of the good parts of it for sure. Like Brad Pitt as an actor. I think he plays this kind of smarmy, or not smarmy, but kind of dweeby type character pretty well. During the couple fight scenes he has, and I'll get to that, he does a decent enough job. Um, Joey King plays the prince, who is this she looks like a child, but she's just pretending so that she can get into people's she can get people to do what she wants, and she looks innocent because she looks young. Joey King is an actress I've never been too big on. I've seen her in a few things. Apparently she was in Glorious Bastards. Um, no wait, never mind. I tapped the wrong thing. I accidentally tapped Brad Pitt's thing. Um, she's in Kissing Booth films, which I didn't watch. She was in Horton Hears a Who. She was in The Conjuring. Um, she was in White House Down. She was the daughter. Um, she was in Wish Upon, which I thought was. I'll have to try watching that again, but um, oh yeah, The Lie. The Lie. I hated the fuck. The Lie is a horrible fucking movie. But I've never been big on her. I do think she does a good job here, though. I think she does a good enough job being this character when she's supposed to be somewhat threatening. I think she kind of works, even if, again, she's not that threatening, but she did better than I thought she would as a character that you're supposed to hate. Aaron Taylor Johnson did a good job as Tangerine. He's part of these twins that are assassins. Brian Terry Henry plays Lemon, the other side of that. I like both of these actors. I think they did good jobs. Andrew Koji plays Kimura. He's fine. Hiroyuki Sanada plays the Elder. He's also fine. Nothing much about him. Like, he's been in quite a few popular movies semi-recently, but I I don't know. I've just never really connected. I've never really seen a performance from him where I was like, "Oh, that was fantastic. That was perfect. Oh my god." Because even in John Wick Chapter 4, he didn't really do much, and I really had no thoughts about him. Um, Michael Shannon plays White Death. He's fine. He does his job. Bad Bunny plays Wolf. I He's apparently been in other movies, but this is his first like big role. Well, even I'll get to that, but he's barely in the movie, but I think he could have been better if they'd given him more to do. Sandra Bullock plays Maria, who is Ladybug's handler. I liked her. She had some funny lines. I think Sandra Bullock does good with comedic timing, even though her face looks kind of off when she shows up at the end of the movie. Zazie Beetz plays the Hornet. She's in the movie about 2 minutes. Even though she's on the poster, she's in the movie like 2 minutes. She's fine. Uh, Logan Lerman as the son, he's barely in it. I wished he was in it more because I like Logan Lerman, but he was fine. I'd say the biggest issue with this movie is the pacing. Because it's 2 hours and 5 minutes. Or 2 hours and 6 minutes, which isn't insanely long. This film should have been an hour and a half. With how much story is here and how much downtime there is in this, it could have easily been edited down to an hour and a half. Because there are so many jokes in this film that go on for way too long. Like, between characters. Like, they have this bit that a lot of movies do that have, like, scenes in libraries, but in this scene, it's in a quiet car where they're, like, talking shit to each other and trying to fight, and there's, like, a woman that's, like, telling them to be quiet, and it's like, I've seen this joke a billion times before, done better. A lot of jokes about Thomas the Tank Engine, which is like, huh? A lot of childish humor, which I was not expecting. Like, there's a lot of humor in here that actually reminds me of Friedberg and Seltzer movies, like Vampires Suck and like Disaster Movie, and that's not a good thing. There are literally jokes where it's like, oh, I said something, and then the joke is that someone falls down and then they die. And I wish this had taken itself more serious, actually. I would have usually said, like, it took itself too seriously, but this one, like, I don't know, just something about it, the tone seems off for this. Because I was wanting more of a just fast-paced action movie, characters getting the shit beaten out of them, fun fights. And I will give it one thing. I will give this film one thing that, well, a couple things. I kind of want to get the good out of the way. This film does have a lot of good to it, but overall, I would probably never watch this movie again, and I'll probably sell this. I can't sell the 4K Blu-ray because my 4K Blu-ray, I'm not saying this is a knock against the movie. My 4K Blu-ray stopped working a quarter through the movie and it was spotless. So, maybe a printing error, but paying what you're usually paying for one of these steelbooks, because I like the steelbooks, that's pretty fucked. um, they can't even make sure the discs work, because I've never opened this until today. So, and it was in packaging when I bought it. But this film, the action scenes when they happen, for the most part, are fine. I think the fights that Brad Pitt has are fun, and as they like mix in the comedy with the fighting. If you're gonna do an action comedy, I think you should have all the fight scenes be that type of fight scene or action scene should be that type where it's not taking itself too serious. It's not like, ooh, look how badass. It's more so like, oh, that's actually pretty funny. Like, have goofy things happen. But it kind of loses that when you get to the second half. And Brad Pitt doesn't, it kind of becomes a side character near the end of the movie, even though he's supposed to be our main character, like, kind of badass action hero. Even though he's kind of dweeby. But, like, near the end, like, all the action goes so ridiculous to the point where I'm like, this doesn't work for me. Like, again, you have the fights with the fight that's in the trailer between Ladybug and Bad Bunny's character. And I was like, oh, that was a fun fight. Then you have his fight with the Hornet, which is a bit short. I wish it was longer. Um, but yeah, like those fights are fun. The stuff later is kind of just whatever for me. There is some like pretty obvious CGI blood at times, and when it's obvious, it takes me out of it. Um, Seeing Hiroyuki Sanada slice up the guys with a sword was cool for sure, but it didn't really fit with the tone the movie was going for, and I was like, what is it doing now? Like it wants to be epic or whatever. Um, but this is definitely a film that needed the action scenes to be spaced out better, because there's like a good like 40 minutes before the last action scenes where like not a lot happens, and the film just kind of staggers a bit. Um, Again, I've noticed this with a lot of action films that are like 2 hours plus, like John Wick Chapter 4. John Wick Chapter 4 had a different issue. I think they bunched up the action into way too long sequences where you have like fire breath shotgun bit and then the streets, or the streets and then the fire breath shotgun bit, and then all the stuff at the end with the staircase all happens in this big bunch instead of spacing it out, shortening them a bit for the best moments, because that's an issue that John Wick Chapter 4 has that this doesn't. It has the opposite issue. Bullet Train needed better, like more action that was fitting the tone, spaced out better, because it's an action movie. People, like, I got bored watching this movie at times. Um, and it's not the fault of the actors or anything. It's more so the, excuse me, my back hurts. Ugh. It's more so, well, instead of John Wick Chapter 4 having too much action, this has too little action. And it did annoy me because I was looking forward to Brad Pitt kicking more ass and doing cool stuff with the briefcase. But yeah, other than that, the score by Dominic Lewis, I did really like. I am definitely going to look up some tracks from that. Dominic Lewis did the score to Jolt, which I really enjoyed. I have the 4K Blu-ray over there because it has some special features and I would love to see it in 4K. There's Spooks the Greater Good with Kit Harington, Jennifer Eel, Peter Firth from the MI5 show, or Spooks show. Really good soundtrack to that film. But very talented composer. I think what he did for this film was pretty nice. It definitely helps it in certain ways. Sorry, my hair's not wanting to cooperate. Um, the cinematography is very nice, very slick. None of my issues with this film have to do with the filmmaking itself. Like cinematography, editing, direction, um, the like how the fight scenes are filmed and all that are not my issue with the film. The film is very well made in that respect. I just think David Leitch. I'm not a fan of how this is paced. That the pacing is one of the main issues I have with it, and that a lot of characters don't get to do that much. Bad Bunny gets literally a whole backstory thing. Like he's the only character that gets this, by the way. Like the whole backstory of their lives and how all of this stuff has happened to them only happens to him. And all of these characters' lives, I think, are tied together by Bad Bunny or somebody. That's the whole thing, is like fate. Fate is a big theme with this film. But Bad Bunny like gets his whole thing talking about, oh, he wants to get revenge on the person that killed his family, and then he dies in the first fight scene he gets. So I was like, that's fucking disappointing, because I was like, that sounded like it would have been an interesting movie. And Zazie Beetz. I don't know much about Zazie Beetz. I just know that she was in Deadpool 2. Uh, yeah, I literally know nothing about her. Apparently, she's in an episode. Oh, in a season 6 episode of Black Mirror, Maisie Day. I don't know. I've never seen it. That episode at least. Um, yeah, she's in the film like 2 minutes. Uh, literally almost nothing to do, other than like one fight scene. And both of these actors are on the poster, so I was definitely disappointed. Even Brad Pitt, I wish he had more to do because most of the one-on-one fight scenes he has are in the first half. Or okay, there's the Bad Bunny fight scene, and there's like a fight scene between him and somebody else I forgot about. Uh, I guess it's the Aaron Taylor Johnson one, and then Zazie Beetz, and then that's about it. He's like fighting with the other guys after that, and it's like I kind of wish we got to see him do more stuff like that. Um, but yeah, like again, I don't hate this film. It's not it's not bad, I don't think. I think the issue I have with it is that mainly it's just kind of meh. It's like whatever. I'm not as into it as I should be, and I don't know. I just didn't get super into it. Uh, there's some cool stuff every so often, but overall it's just kind of forgettable to me. But yeah, that was my review of Bullet Train. If you've seen the film, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. If you have any recommendations, put them down there as well. And movie reviewer next door.